Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, it is once again Joe Donahue here on YouTube bringing you the John Carr ARCA Series from iRacing. You can't see anything on your screen because I haven't turned it on yet. Welcome to the virtual EchoPark Speedway. I am joined by my very handsome, lovely friend, Noah Carmichael, also known as Mighty Mac on YouTube, and we are here to bring you race number 4 of this series season here from Atlanta tonight. I believe a 94-lap race.
98.
98. I was close. Noah could correct me on that one. Noah Carmichael, it's nice to have you back with us. How are you doing on this fine Monday evening?
Well, it was about 80 degrees, well, say 70, I say 70 degrees. Pretty warm outside, and now it is snowing sideways outside, and like right above the melting point. So nothing's really sticking to the ground, but it's like I could barely see like 50 feet in front of me, which was really interesting. It's March, all right. It is officially March, so think warm thoughts at the moment. But you know, it's always great to be back. We were out in Phoenix last weekend when we had the doubleheader for John Carr and OSRO. We had a great race out there that was dominated by Ashley Kolonix, who now comes in here as the points leader for John Carr. She's going to have an interesting time here tonight because she was dominant last week on the Phoenix Oval. Now she comes to a racetrack that is much like the first race of the season out at Daytona. Big, high-banked oval, a bit smaller, but just as chaotic. And unlike the Atlanta now, where the asphalt has kind of aged, this track is still in that brand new phase. It has not been updated since it was brand new, so it still has that heavy pack racing feeling that this track was first witnessed to when it was debuted. So it's going to be pretty much a crapshoot for anybody to try to win this race here tonight.
Yeah, tonight should be very exciting for everybody watching. It should be very interesting set up for these cars. A little bit lower horsepower than what you might see if you turn this race on with, say, like the NASCAR Cup Series. And what that should mean is we should equate this basically to super speedway style racing for these cars. We have a total of 32 or 33 drivers lined up for this race. 26 of them have put lap times down. Presley Sora, who the last broadcast that we did was the winner, puts up his first lap time, and he's actually at the bottom of the scoring order with his first lap. The fastest lap up on the board, and this lap that Presley just put up, only about 0.7 of a second between them. So Noah, the qualifying order, very, very close together. I see names even on the board that have the exact same time up on screen. So there's definitely a very close-knit group of drivers out there on the track tonight as Presley puts his second lap in, and he goes all the way from last to 13th. And as we've got the last couple drivers coming around to put in their lap times, about 2.5 minutes left, 3 laps for the drivers to go around and put up the best lap times that they can. This is Austin Vaughn in car number 9, unsponsored, for John Carr and John Szulczewski's team. He's got the green and black, kind of showing off that is part of that team. But down the back straightaway, yeah, I don't know. Noah, do you expect anything different out of these race cars in this racetrack, or is this kind of like basically everybody's going to get the same lap time coming down to very fine details kind of racing thing?
I think this is going to come down to very fine details just because of the fact this isn't like the Atlanta that we have today, where it's been blistering underneath that hot Atlanta sun for the past 3 years. So this still has that fresh pavement to it, which means it's super fast and it's smooth as glass. So it's pretty much just a miniature Daytona, to the point of you need to just keep it pinned down there on that red line without hitting the apron. And then as well, maximizing the run you can get off the corner and being able to cut the apron. I don't know, sometimes there's some leagues where you get penalized for doing that, but most leagues will let you have at it in qualifying. And that's kind of the cheese line around here that many drivers are able to take advantage of. And that's where most of the difference is probably going to be. Is you're going to see here, this number 74 car going to dive down there, and that's how you do it. I would honestly probably have kept it a little bit tighter as you come through the tri-oval, but still pretty solid lap, and that's going to improve him up into the outside of row number 4. And of course, that's the number 79. I need to find number 74. That's Timothy J. Moore who bumps himself up to the 6th spot with that run. And keep in mind, he's only 1,000th off 5th place. That's how tight this is going to be. And he's only 2,000ths off of William Schmidt, who is in 4th. So that's just how tight this is going to be. And that's going to be the name of the game, is just holding that wheel as steady as you can and hoping that you're able to get the best run that you can out of the corners.
Absolutely. The last 3 drivers yet to qualify: Devin Lentz, Robert Blazington, and Shane O'Neill. You see Robert Blazington, the Blaze Management Company number 90 on your screen here. For the moment, Mateo Mitchell in car 82 and Mo Perry sit on the front row. Ashley Kalonix rolling from 3rd as the points leader. But Isaac Johnson, where is Isaac Johnson in this running order? I don't see Isaac Johnson in this order at all. This might be one of his races he's missing, Noah, and that would be interesting for the second place runner in the points championship, only down 1 point to Ashley. However, they do get drop races in this championship, so he will be able to use that. And then William Schmidt, 3rd place in the championship, goes from 4th as is. We've also got a NASCAR X driver, a El Toro Loco monster truck driver, Ryan Vargas, sitting in 5th place on the board right now. And with 5 seconds left, I think that's the end of it, Noah. I don't think we're going to get any more qualifying times in unless somebody drives the speed of sound. And we will roll over to the race and get the starting grid up. Noah, if you'd like to take us from the top, and we'll bring the starting 10 to you here on the screen.
Starting on pole is going to be the number 82 of Mateo Mitchell. Alongside him, how about a great qualifying effort for the number 54 of Mo Perry? Inside row number 2 is going to be number 69 car of Ashley Kalonix. Last time out in Phoenix, she dominated that race. She's currently your points leader entering this race, I believe 3rd race of the season, or the 4th race here for John Carr. She's going to have the 3rd position alongside William Schmidt in the number 39. Ryan Vargas, we just talked about, NASCAR star and now Monster Jam star, a winner over in Monster Jam, driving El Toro Loco over in some of the Arena Series events. He's going to line up in the 5th spot with Timothy J. Moore in the number 74 in 6th. Nathan Barrows in the 090 car lines up 7th, with Dylan Dreiling in the number 83 lines up in 8th. Matthew Gretchen in the 110 lines up 9th, and rounding out your top 10 is the 92 of James Mendez.
Going back to 11th on the grid, you've got Austin J. Ripp, car number 65. He will roll from the inside of row number 6. On the outside of row number 6, car number 60 is Madeline Roten. Car number 60 going to be one of those drivers to watch out for. Madeline very, very strong on the super speedway type racetracks. Aaron May, haven't seen this name on the channel in a while, driving car number 10, will go from 13th on the grid to his outside, originally out of Cambridge City, Indiana. Car number 9 on the track, 98 on the scoreboard is Presley Sora. Going from 15th on the grid, Christopher Van Scoy. We've seen Van Scoy have some really good runs so far this season. And to his outside, another Christopher, but that's Christopher B. Williams, the Hoosier, in car number 09. Chase Willis will roll from 17th on the grid. On the outside of him, car 18 starts in 18th position for the commish, John Shulcheski. John Daniels goes from 19th on the grid in the number 02 car, and rounding out your top 20, going to be the number 25 of Rex Jenkins.
Starting back in 21st is going to be the number 42, Ronald Sawecki. Alongside him is the number 9 of Austin Vaughn. Lined up back in the 23rd spot, number 48, another Hoosier driver, that being Gavin Newton of Running Racing Design, alongside the 01 of Nicholas Barrows. Starting back in 25th is the 119 of Jade Gray, alongside the number 00 of Nathan Moeller. 27th is you're going to find the number 21 of Nolan Kelly, alongside the number 71 of Mike Campbell. 29th is Ryan Wayne, and lining up back in the 30th spot is the number 1 of Kyle Topman.
Going from the last 3 positions, Robert Blazington, Shane O'Neill, and Devin Lentz did not put qualifying times up on the board. They will roll from the tail of the field as 98 laps are going to get ready to start. Noah, final thoughts, final opinions on what we're expecting to see out of this race tonight. Anything maybe that changed based off of the running you saw in qualifying, or making note of where we're at in the timeline of where the sun is on the racetrack, if it's setting or whatnot?
Basically, like we talked about at the beginning of the show, this is a miniature Daytona, so the only advice I can give to these drivers is tie a kerosene rag around your ankle so the ants don't climb up and bite that candy ass, because you need to be full send all 98 laps to be able to run up here at the front. The name of the game, keep your car in one piece, keep the tires underneath you, don't hit that catch fence, and just pray to God you're in the top 10 by the time the final 10 laps come around. If you're able to make it through there, then you're going to have a shot. There's going to be a lot of racing done here tonight. You have a lot of race cars and a lot of experience, so pretty much just get to these first half of the race and just survive.
Let's see how it goes. Like a Catholic on their wedding night, we are ready to go. And the green flag coming from Barney in the flag stand. And the green flag's out. Let's go racing, boys. Got to let the Ilmores wind up the speed here as they come into turn number 1.
You can already see they're starting to tighten up there about the first 4 or 5 rows. Mateo Mitchell is going to lead the charge on the back straightaway with Mo Perry keeping tight right behind him. He's going to get a bit of a shove from the 79 of William Schmidt. He's going to be able to take a bit of an advantage heading off into turn number 3. But again, you're going to see back there goes Christopher B. Williams and Presley Sora. They're going to try and make some noise up on the high side. They try to go 3 wide, but that middle line is going to jump down to the inside and make it double file once again.
And as they come back past the stripe, Mo Perry at the top side of the racetrack takes back over the race lead. William Schmidt in tow behind as well. That 74 car, Timothy Moore, pushing as well. They're holding up some good momentum out there, even though it's only 4 cars up against that inside line. But that's pretty solid at the start of this race. You can get away with that when you have the top side that you can kind of wind up the motor. Or if you're Presley Sora, you can do it all by yourself. Not quite going to work up top that time. Mo Perry going to lead the lap. Back 2 down already, Noah.
Yeah, but the problem that Mo is having right now is he comes off of the corner and he's squeezing that number 82 car. And it's kind of a double-edged sword because you're able to get the side draft, but you also run the risk of possibly getting stuck in the middle because Schmidt does have the opportunity to jump up to the high side. And if that 74 car jumps, oh, we got to crash in the back of the field.
We got to crash, yep. We got to crash in the back of the field here. Aaron May involved, Chase Willis back here, and the yellow flag will come out. Car number 44, one of the solid cars that we see week in, week out with this series. Not going to be starting tonight off the way that he wanted to. We will go back and pull the replay here and see what happened.
He was one of those cars I noticed just trying to follow Presley up through the field. He was trying to make some through-line moves and not connecting the way they're meant to be.
Let's get this one more time. That is Christopher B. Williams behind. Not that Williams did anything wrong, but just a little bit of a bump in the middle of the corner. And Willis got up into the wall, and then he comes down on Aaron May, who goes sliding across the front of the 25 car there. Very slight contact, but yeah, Willis with a solid hit in the wall, and the 10 car definitely got some significant damage before he even got down there. So those two, I don't know if they're going to, maybe the 10's going to have to get a reset. The 44 might be able to ride this out and not use the fast repair, but yeah, tough start to the evening for both those drivers.
I would assume that 44 car is going to need to use a fast repair, but it looks like he is choosing to sit in pit lane and try and get it repaired, which obviously that is the move you want to do because you want to be able to hold on to that fast repair because to have that kind of a wreck on lap 4 of 98, that is going to put you really far on the back foot, and now all you can really do is just kind of ride around and hope that you get a couple more cautions and just bide your time and try to pick your way up as the race goes on. But you can see now a lot of cars are going to go off strategy to try and get some tires early and maybe get their fuel out of the way.
Yeah, there's a lot of them coming down into the pit lane at the moment. I see Ronald Swikey, Christopher B. Williams. I think Devin Lentz might be down here. I see Swikey there. Yeah, we got a couple of them. Just trying to top off, Noah. It doesn't look like we're using any tires. It's just topping off on fuel to see if you can go just those couple laps further into the run. We have a minute here while we're under caution. Maybe we'll go ahead and bring one of our drivers in, and I can see from race chat number 4, I can see the number 10 of Aaron May. So, Noah, why don't we talk to Aaron quick about his run through that incident?
We're going to bring Aaron May up into the booth. Aaron, lap 4, not the way you want to start your night. Take us through what you saw as you came off of turn number 2.
I honestly don't know what happened. All I know is I think what happened was that Chase tapped the wall just a little bit, and he got hit from behind and spun out right in front of me, and I just had nowhere to go at that point. So, unfortunate start, but I feel like there'll be more cautions, and I can get this thing fixed and try to go back to the front. You know what I'm saying?
I do know what you're saying, and we saw that contact that you had with the 44 car was enough to kind of remove the nose off of your car. Was that enough for you to warrant wanting to take a fast repair, or did you decide to kind of wait it out and see if you can't repair it with the pit crew doing the work for you?
I honestly think there's going to be more cautions, so I'm just going to hang on to the fast repair as long as I can. But if there's like less cautions than what I think there's going to be, then I'll use it earlier.
And now that you start off on the back foot like that, you're already at the rear end of the field. Are you going to try and get a little bit aggressive now to get that track position back, or is the name of the game now just kind of ride behind and watch everybody fight for themselves?
I'm just going to try to ride from behind and try to see what everybody else does and not damage this car any more than what it is.
All right, well, good luck, brother. Hopefully we get to speak to you later on in the race.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Good stuff, Noah. Good stuff from Aaron. I think that's the right strategy. There's a lot of race left, and honestly, I completely agree with him. I think we got more yellows coming, so he's definitely going to have time to make those repairs. So why not use it? I saw.
You see that? I mean, it's not so much it's the drivers, but I mean, you have ARCA on a plate track like this. It's a recipe for disaster. Not that these drivers are bad, but it's just those two things don't mix. It's like mixing. I don't even know what, like oil and gas.
Yeah.
It's just something volatile is going to happen.
Yeah. Definitely. So the lights are out on the pace car. That we are going to go back to green. Lap number 7 will start off. Mo Perry in the lead. Mateo Mitchell still holding out in the front row there, so that's good for them. But we're going to bring this back and working the best we can here. I know the stream's dropping a few frames here. I can see we are getting that big, like, allegedly tornado storm that was supposed to come through, and then on the east. Oh, shit, we're wrecking already. What the hell?
I think that was a 00 Nathan Bowler. They're still wrecking back there.
They are still wrecking back there. Nolan Kelly. All right.
There it is.
And they are under yellow immediately, so.
I was wondering if they're going to call that. Just because the fact that a lot of it happened in the grass. But you can see there's some significant damage there, that 21 car. It's already crab walking.
Oh, crap. That's actually Ronald Swikey. Involved in the start of this. Let's just go back one more. Oh, yeah, it was the 0. You're right, Noah. The 0 car and the 21 got botched up, and then right up across the front of Swikey, and he slams the wall. Yeah, and then the 00's just trying to keep it under control. That's Nate Moeller. And then the 21. Oh,
it was about ARCA breaking there. Oh, money.
What are we doing?
I kind of want to see the onboard. I'm wondering if maybe his steering broke or something, the way it just hooks like that.
No, he's trying to avoid the 00 car right here.
Yeah.
I mean, let's go on
There's
board.
Nowhere to go. That's Dylan Drailing there that you see he's going to hit, and he has nowhere to go.
One more time back here. And on board. Yeah, he comes back down and then just like starts slowing down. Woo! Good evasive driving from Nolan Kelly. Unfortunately, slammed into from the backside. Yeah, that's tough. And he's crabbing back. He's going to try to go get into the pits there, but I don't know if we've got Nolan Kelly in the Discord. There's actually a lot of drivers here tonight, which is awesome. We can take our pick of the crowd. But I am going to take my pick of the crowd. One of the guys I enjoy very much talking to in these broadcasts, and I will take care of talking to our old friend Noah. I will talk with Mr. Ron Swikey. Ron, we got you up in the broadcast booth. That restart didn't look like it went too well for anybody, but I think you might have gotten the short end of the stick there, my friend.
I guess so, yeah. That's not good.
What's not good? What's going on, Ron?
Crew Chief says it's going to be about 15 minutes of damage repair, so we're going to have to get back from this.
I believe it. So what's the deal? You're just going to ride this? You're just going to hold this out, wait it out, and see if you can get some points at the end?
Yeah, pretty much. That's about where we're going to be at this point. Getting junked this early in the race really is suboptimal, but you do what you got to do.
Got to do what you got to do. Well, yeah. Tell me about how the race started out. We had that short run of green. Do you think that was going well? Like, was the field being relatively calm, easygoing up until that incident?
It didn't look like anyone was doing anything too patently stupid that early. I don't know what happened. It was a couple rows in front of me, and I wasn't really looking that far ahead on the track until the caution came out, and then I started looking farther ahead.
Well, when you get back out there, you can do a little bit of sighting in and see what's going on out there for us. But just hoping for the best for you, Ron. So patience is a virtue, and we'll see what comes for you the rest of the way through this.
Appreciate it.
Yep. And what chat were you in? Were you in chat 2?
I think I was in 1 with John and them.
The big one? Full of, like, everybody?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll throw you back in there.
10-4, thank you.
You got it. And we'll jump back to... Ron's just a good guy.
I wonder if he's going to beat the pace car. I think he might, yes. I think he's going to beat the pace car out.
Yes, and that's good. He'll stay on the lead lap for the time being. He'll just ride at the back, try to get through as many laps as possible, wait for those yellows, get those fixed up. He's got a chance.
He does got a chance. That's the thing about these kind of plate-style tracks is that anybody really has a chance. It doesn't matter really what happens in the first half. As long as you're still in the race and you're on the lead lap by the second half of the race, or even the last 20 laps, you still have a chance.
Yep. Absolutely.
But you want to talk about somebody that this has helped, knocking off these first 10 laps is Mo Perry, honestly. You know, he gets to avoid all the chaos. He's leading laps. He's adding to his points tally for the rest of the season. I don't even know if they're doing laps led, but because of the fact I don't think they're doing stage racing, I'm assuming they're going to do laps leading bonus points. So this is honestly helping him, especially in the later half of the race. It's going to help him possibly get another solid finish out here, because I think he even scooted away from Phoenix with a top 5 finish.
Yeah, I mean, Mo Perry currently in the points sits with 2 top 5s and 5th in the points. So now I haven't seen Harry Grendel's name. I don't think Grendel's here tonight, who's in 4th place in the championship. And even with the drop weeks in, it does help. And obviously winning is the way you win championships. So Mo Perry going to shoot for it that way. But as we come back to the stripe here, we'll have 10 laps down. More than a tenth of the way through this as Kalanick's kind of jumps the restart but gives a nice shove to the pole sitter. And we're back to green.
You're going to see the number 82, Mateo. He's going to try and do what Mo had on the initial start. He has a big shove coming from the 92. That is James Mendez. He's going to shove him deep through the corner, and they're going to be able to easily take over the race lead. You have Ryan Vargas in the 91 car also shoving from behind. Here comes 18 and John Shaletsky also following through. That, because of the fact that Ashley kind of jumped the start there, that became a little bit of a jumbled mess, and that really kind of put them in no man's land as they are just getting swept away. And now Vargas is going to take charge of leading the inside line. He's going to lead his first lap of the night.
I think, was that Roten in the wall back there? Yeah, Madeline Roten got a little piece of the wall. Holy moly. Wow, they're going. They are moving all over the place, especially with this camera angle on the front stretch. Really gives you a reference for the speed these cars are actually carrying through the racetrack right now. As Ryan Vargas leads the inside line, Mateo Mitchell comes jumping down to protect that area. James Mendez in that Mobile 1, number 92, sits in second place on track. But Presley Sora and his buddy Gavin coming on the third line up top. They are making headway up there as the 91 Lucky Dog machine trying to hold it down on the bottom with Mo Perry pushing in 54. And the 92 barely squeezes in. It looks like the bottom line's the place to be right now, Noah.
Absolutely. The low line is the fast way around the racetrack, but you got to give credit to both Gavin Newton and Presley Sora. Presley Sora, a big train spotter, and he is chugging like a CSX line on a Monday afternoon, running around that top lane, trying to make some moves happen. But you talk about the fact that nobody's really waiting. I'm kind of surprised by that. Obviously, it's this early in the run to be trying to make moves like this. But I think one of the reasons why you're seeing the moves like this happening is because of the fact of how sporadic that front straightaway is. That trioval, you go to places like Talladega and Daytona where you have these long triovals where you have these 2 big straightaways. Well, this one is immediately left turn straightaway, left turn straightaway, left turn straightaway, and then you're back in the turn. So you have no time to really get the car settled before you're able to make a move. It's pretty much you have to be full send, and there goes the number 82 car. He's going to get sent to the trioval.
Mateo Mitchell spinning across the grass in the trioval. They stay green. And he will get back up to speed. Unfortunately, loses all of his track position. And yes, we stay green. There was a single car incident, no contact. So Mateo Mitchell's just going to have to ride this out and wait for some help. As Ryan Vargas takes over the race lead, William Schmidt and Presley Sora make up your top 3. A little bit of a change at the front. And there comes the number 90 car. Actually, both of the 90 cars. Robert Blazington and Nathan Barrows. Sora goes to the lead. Bobby Blazer goes down to follow. And they will pass Ryan Vargas. But the other number 90 car, now the 2 of them, side by side, are going to be pushing your front 2 drivers. 2 Fords leading, and 2 90 cars pushing them down the back straightaway.
Ashley Kalanick's the lap before, while you were looking at the 82 car, tried to jump out of line when she was behind Vargas, had nobody behind her to give her the push to try and go for the race lead, or at least not enough momentum, and she got swept up in that too. That's how you see her fall back to 4th in line. Now you see Vargas getting pushed from Gavin Newton heading off into turn number 1 with William Schmidt in tow, and big stack up in the middle, and there goes Mo Perry. He's going to get turned.
Mo Perry at the wall.
Right in front of the field.
Yep, and the field comes to a screeching halt. The yellow flag coming out. Dang. Tough. And Nate Moeller involved pretty heavy, but Mo Perry's your guy.
That's the second incident of the night that Nate Moeller's been involved in.
Dang it. And here we're going to have to go back here and check out what happens to Mo Perry as they come into turn number 1. This is the replay. Sora is actually the one that really starts the backup. Kolonic's trying to get out of the way of it, and then Shulcheski just has too much of a train behind him, and Mo goes for a little bit of a ride down to the inside. That's Madeline Roden.
Wow! Roden with an incredible job on the brakes.
Absolutely. Now, this is where the ARCA brakes comes into the picture.
Yeah,
Willis, and then Moeller.
Oh,
that's a heavy one. Yeah, that's big.
Right to the driver front wheel, and you can already see it completely tore the front wheel off that car. So that's already disconnected. So that is a fast repair right there. There's no way around it.
Absolutely. As Mo Perry's catching back up to the tail end of the field. We actually do have Mo Perry in here, so why don't we see... I'm going to tickle the horse here. Let's see what Mo's got to say. Mo Perry, we got you on the broadcast. Not the way you wanted that to go. You're not too far into this race, but tell me how you're feeling after that big hit.
Well, I really wish this was real life because I'd probably have a concussion and be out for about a few months. I mean, checked up going into one because I guess we like entering on the apron now. And I'm not mad at, getting hit and spinning out. Just more so like, you see a ton of smoke in turn one. Maybe you might want to slow down, especially if you're not even in the lead pack. Like, come on. And now I'm stuck here trying to get into my pits so I can get this fixed. And all my controls are backwards because my steering wheel is completely upside down. Ooh, 16 of optional. I love this. I love this so much.
So, fast repair, I assume, and ARCA brakes. It's kind of the consensus we're hearing out of you, Mo. But you still got 70 laps to do something with here. Do you think you're going to still have a shot at the end of this? You think you can get enough cautions and help to get back around to this?
Okay, hang on. There we go. John started talking in the race, so I didn't hear the second half of whatever you were saying, but, yeah, I mean, I got the rest of the race, but with how the people are racing around here, it's just going to be a game of survival at this point. With how it's been going so far, I might even be able to get this thing fixed before the end of the race. No fast repair. And
That's
trying
crazy.
to get through the field is going to be an absolute disaster. With my luck, if I take the fast repair now, I'm going to just get it killed again in the next 10 seconds. So, I mean...
Get it to go.
What can you do?
Well, you can be really good looking, which you always do, but hopefully this gets turned around for you, and at least you can salvage some points, Mo.
Hopefully.
Cool. Well, we'll let you get back to it, and we'll see what comes. Good luck the rest of the way. Hoping for the best for you, bud.
Yep, and have fun with the rest of the broadcast.
Bang. That's what I'm talking about. Mo Perry. Class act. Good stuff. Hell of a iRacing painter, too, as a side note. Man, he can make stuff look good.
It doesn't look like that with the car he's running, but when you realize that's a Brad Smith trivia car, it makes it 100% better.
Absolutely. Yeah, considering some of the stuff we've seen Mo Perry drive in, like late model races or cup races, Mo.
That's genuinely one of my favorite cars just because of the fact it's true to form of what this series is about.
That's right. That is something Mo's also very good at, is being true to the form of what he's doing. So. And the pace lights are out. We are 20 laps into a 98-lap race here at EchoPark Speedway, which was previously known as and can be better known as Atlanta.
Should be.
Should be, if you'd like. Capitalism, corporate America, blah, blah, blah. And Ryan Vargas is leading. Gavin's on the inside there. Yeah.
Interesting choice to jump on the high side there from the 91 car of Vargas. I think obviously you want to stay with William Schmidt, somebody who is an experienced pusher. But it's interesting because usually you kind of want to stay on that inside line half the time.
Well, Mateo Mitchell did that at the start, took the outside, and then they actually switched when Mo was leading. Mo took the outside one time and then took the inside the next. So Vargas just great restart. Doesn't even matter what lane you start in when you start that well off the restart. But we're back to it again, and John Daniels there behind William Schmidt pushing on the outside. Then you've got Gavin Newton along with Nathan Barrows on the inside. They're all just trying to get up to speed here as they come down the backstretch into turn number 3 again.
There goes the 92 car of James Mendez is going to hang John Daniels out to dry. Do I blame him? No. But regardless, John Daniels now in no man's lane. He's going to fall all the way to the back of the field if he
he
can't
hit the
find
wall.
a hole. Yep, he hit the wall. And then here comes Presley Zora. He immediately jumps to the inside. He's going to try and stick that 90 car in the middle, and now he is going to be stuck in no man's land. That's not Rubber Blazing 10. I don't know why people can't just run the normal cars. That is Nathan Barrows in the 090, and that one of the Pepsi cars. He's going to be able to jump up in line about 4th or 5th back, right in front of Madeline Roten, but he's going to lose a couple of spots as up at the front. It is still a 3-car fight. Ryan Vargas leading the way. Back in second is the fight between Schmidt and the 92 car of James Mendez.
Schmidt on the outside with the draft from the leader, and then you got Mendez on the inside in car number 92. That's a little bit better momentum. Oh my God! Oh shit! Oh!
Hang on to it! Oh no, Mendez hard hitting the wall.
That could have been worse. Oh Lord!
He's going back up across
Holy
the track.
Oh hell!
You know what that 10 car reminds me of?
Please say like the. Oh, is it the Tyler Walker rat bag?
Yeah, the rat bag car.
Yeah,
that
that's
10,
the
that 10,
that's the font.
That's the
I
font?
think that's the font. I think I'm not sure, but I think that's the font.
Where the hell did he even find that?
That's just the magic of Magic Money Meatballs. I think that car exists in iRacing somewhere. Like you could steal it. It looks like it if it isn't, because it's not the Johnny Benson.
No, it's not.
Font. But anyway, we've got some stuff to break down back here, so let's go back to the 92 car. I'm trying to find.
It's going to start up there with Gavin Newton in the 48 car.
Let's see if I can find Gavin. So
you
Gavin, yeah, go ahead.
That's Mendez up there on the inside line. I watched most of this kind of unfold. So Mendez is going to lead the charge down there on the inside. Newton is right up on his back bumper, pushing him straight to the corner. Didn't really get the best entry, so he's going to try and chase it down with him. And one of the kind of cardinal sins is you don't push in the corner, and that's pretty much what happened. I don't know if there was a checkup that got involved there or Newton just misread it, but, pushes in the corner. Mendez goes around, almost takes out his teammate Presley Sura, then just all hell breaks loose. Newton makes out like a bandit, steals a couple of spots. He's running up in the 4th spot, but behind him, a lot of that PepsiCo team got swept up in all of that. Drailing again was right there in the middle of it. You saw there with the 10 car as well, some heavy hits into the inside wall, and you're going to see the big one right there. Shoots it right down there, full on the binders, but you can only do so much, and he's going to take a hard smack with the nose, and look at that.
Yeah, that's 5 wide there, and they're all wrecking into each other. That's a lot of damage.
That's a lot of damage.
That's a lot of damage. I can feel the wind like pushing on the house I'm sitting in.
I think I can hear
the
it.
floor.
I think I can hear the howl.
Ooh, that's crazy. Mine or yours?
Yours.
That's insane. I can feel it on the floor. Anyway, so that was a significant group of cars involved. Although we didn't really have that many cars with huge heavy damage in that one. We had a few, but not too many, so there shouldn't be too many people using up their fast repairs.
I think someone this is going to help, though, is that 54 car of Mo Perry. I don't know where he's at on track right now. I'd assume he's in the pits. Yes, he is. He is on pit road getting the damage repaired. He is still on the lead lap back in the 24th spot. So, this is exactly what he needed. Same for guys like who we talked to earlier. I believe that was, Aaron May is also still in pit road, as well as the 42 car. So, cautions breed cautions, and, they're breeding like rabbits out there tonight. So we have a lot of cautions. I believe this is the 4th one. We're only on lap 25.
Yes. Yep, you're correct. So we are a quarter of the way through the race now officially as Ryan Vargas leads the field past the line. And we get the 1 to go signal from the flag stand. The pace lights are out. Ryan Vargas picks the outside line, and unfortunately for Vargas this time, Noah, he cannot bring William Schmidt with him. So the drafting partner he's had for quite some time, now they're side by side. Based off of the way Vargas has been doing these restarts, I don't know if it's going to be that big of a deal, because he does kind of just jump out and go, but there's a possibility for somebody like, especially Presley Sora, to kind of mess this up.
I think the reason he's doing it is because of the fact that when you're on that inside line, like I talked about earlier, you have such a tight corner to cut when you come off the turn 4 into the tri-oval that if he takes it outside line, he has a bit more of a wider arc, which allows him to carry more momentum off into the corner as compared to if you were trying to run it on the inside. So I think that's just kind of the name of the game, is just get a better run into the corner. That's what's going to allow him to clear it. But now you have someone like William Schmidt on the inside, and I would assume Schmidt's going to be one of those guys that's going to be able to try and keep it even with him, so he might give him a run for his money entering off into turn number 1. We might have a fight for the lead here.
That would be exciting. It would be kind of par for the course. It's kind of how our night's gone so far, Noah. We've had a lot of really good racing so far. EchoPark Speedway definitely, with these Ilmor engines, a little bit lower horsepower, makes it a little bit more of a super speedway, and it races pretty well with these things. So the cars are hooked up tonight. Presley Soares was not hooked up for that restart. Abysmal restart for the 9 car, but we are back to green, and kind of more of the same from Vargas, but William Schmidt just lets them go and jumps in line for the restart here.
There's a 4-car breakaway right now, with the fact that Vargas, led by Barrows and Schmidt and Ryan Wayne, they're going to hold on to the top 4 spots. Back in the 5th spot is where you're going to find that number 9 car of Presley Soro, who is scored with the number 98 car. He is also single file, but Ryan Wayne going to jump up high, is going to ditch William Schmidt. He's going to take over the 3rd position as they make their way off of turn number 4. And once again, the field's starting to double up as the momentum starts to carry on the bottom.
William Schmidt getting left out down on the inside line. Madeline Roten jumps in there. Rex Jenkins in the 3rd spot in line behind the 79. And as Presley Sora and Ryan Wayne jump down there, Ryan Wayne and Ryan Vargas making the run down the back straightaway. You see the Nolan Kelly jumping out of line to stay on the inside. Oh, Lord, here we go.
That is the number 9 car that was involved in that. I think, did they somehow save that from being a big one?
Yes. It appears that is what happened.
Yeah, that is the number 9 of Austin Vaughn, and it's going to be the same situation that we've talked about the last couple times, just bumpers not connecting in the right place, and it's just, it happens.
It happens. We'll catch the replay back here, see what happened. Again, even though we caught it live, we'll go back one more time. So you're watching the black and green, number 9, get a little bit of a love tap from the 71 car there. Does keep it from spinning around the whole way, but does end up also in the wall. Maybe a little bit of love from the 74 there, a little side scrape and back up in. So there's probably a decent amount of damage, but it could have been way worse, but that's still not fantastic. That I would right now, I think it's fair to say, is probably a good bit of damage on that car from those 3 hits there.
So that the first hit where he backed it into the wall, drifting it, that would have been enough to escape with. But it's that second hit that's really going to be the one that does it, because of how kind of square he hit it on the door there. So I would expect there to be some significant damage, especially the back end. The back end's caved in pretty good on that 9 car. On the front side, you can kind of see the right front bumper protruding out of the hood. But, but you might have gotten away with it because of how square it hit. I would assume there's wheel damage in that as well. But, again, I believe that is now the 5th caution on the night, and we're only in lap 30, and Madeline Roten said it best, eye pacing.
Eye pacing. Yep. That's kind of the name of the game here tonight at the moment, and probably the rest of the way. A lot of the field came in. Ryan Vargas did not, but Nicholas Barros came in. Austin Rips down there. Aaron May, Mo Perry, Christopher Vanskoy. Ashley Kolonix comes in. Kolonix has not had a night. We have not talked about Ashley in a good way in a while, as you're watching Nicholas Barros come back out onto the racetrack. But Ashley Kolonix just, you got to ride it out, Noah, right? Like, we're still only in the first third of this race, but I've seen damage on the 69 car, and I haven't seen a lot of speed and momentum. Does that concern you at this point in the race, or are we still too early to really make a call?
I would assume that the 69 car is just kind of biding their time right now. There's going to be damage just because of some of the heavy hits you're going to be giving people trying to make the shoves. But I would assume they probably have gathered some bit of damage from one of the wrecks. Maybe the one, I think she was right there in the heart of that incident that involved Gavin Newton a couple cautions ago. So that might be where she got it from, just because of the stack up. But, I think it's still too early to call, because it's a lot of drivers we run different strategies. We see Presley Soro, who is just gloves off out there, going full aggression, trying to take the lead. And then you have some guys, like we talked about with Mo Perry, we talked about it with the number 10 car of Aaron May. Now they're just kind of running in the back and letting these guys fight amongst themselves and trying to buy their time to the end of the race. So it's just kind of a mixture of strategies right now. I mean, one of the things I would have said is whoever tried to jump on the inside of the 9 car, it's lap 30 and 98. You're better off just riding behind them rather than sticking for a hole that's not really going to be beneficial to either one of you two. I was kind of scratching my head on the decision because obviously there's a checkup there, so your first instinct is to go. But when when you still have 6 laps to go, I mean, what is there to go for?
Yeah. Yeah, I think kind of the consensus that we've heard in and out with a lot of other drivers who have frustrations, and it's like not just tonight, but with a lot of races throughout the season, is it's like you got 60 laps left. Sometimes you're rocking your halfway point, and it's like, what are we doing, guys? You know, like why are we doing this? But I guess it's, you know, there's maybe some pride on the line, and maybe it's something about the strategy of track position. But yeah, it's kind of a thing. It's a recurring factor. So we come out of turn number 3 here. We've got Ryan Vargas, that lucky dog, number 91 car, leading the way. The Sorn, number 39 on the inside, is Ryan Wayne, who has just recently got into the picture for the top 3. Presley Sora on the outside in the Go-Gut, number 9, scored as the 98. And then the PepsiCo, number 90, is Nathan Barros. That's your top 4, with William Schmidt and Kyle Topman in row 3 behind them. We get a little bit of checkup throughout the line there on the inside, coming back to the green, but out of turn number 4, it's in the hands of Ryan Vargas into the restart zone, and he will gun it at the far end. We get back to it. Green flag comes back out.
So we're able to keep it a little bit tighter on him. That's one of the better restarts we've seen from the guy back and forth. But once again, you're going to see Vargas jump back into the inside line, and he's going to take early advantage of the race lead. Ryan Wayne back in the second spot, side by side for the third spot between the 090 Nathan Barrows and the number 98 of Presley Sora, as the field once again double up. As here we go again, the field going to catch back up. Sora going to jump up top side and leave Ryan Wayne down into the bottom, and now he's going to jump right back in line with the 91 car, and we are back to where we were before.
And they catch right back up immediately. Now, I think it's worth mentioning.
They're 4 wide. They're 4 wide.
Holy oh, Lord. Oh, man, I can't believe they didn't crash. They crashed.
Oh, wow, that was the fastest commentary scores. Did they save it? How in the world did they save it?
No, they didn't all save it. 29 didn't. Austin Vaughn, I think, didn't save it. Klonix is back there, and Rex Jenkins. We'll have to pull this back. Whoops.
I can already tell you kind of like what I believe has happened, because you remember who I said I talked about that red car that I was questioning on why they made the move? Well, it was that 74 car. I recognized the paint. I just didn't get the number. Just clears himself up in front, too tight of a space, and it's just the crash looks a little similar to a wreck I saw a while ago. I don't know if you get the reference I'm making, but just too tight of a space to be making moves like that.
I know it was tight. Call me crazy. The 74 car made it into the hole. Like, the reason that there was contact was actually, I mean, it was his fault more because he sort of, I don't want to say it like this, but I'm going to say scared William Schmidt. And Schmidt, you see him give Dylan Dreiling a lot of space. And then, actually, no, never mind. Start over. So what happened is William Schmidt kind of gets squirrely and makes a little bit of contact with Dylan Dreiling, and then into the 25 car, Rex Jenkins, who's just unfortunately like aggressive as ever, but yeah, just on the top side, like you're gonna get screwed in that sort of situation, unfortunately. And I needed the reminder of what the reference was, because that, yeah. I'm not going to say anything else about the reference there, but I think Rex Jenkins could use a little bit of help. Yeah, I see it. It looked, especially the camera angle. But anyway, Rex Jenkins is going to try to get into his pit stall here.
So this is interesting, because so I always thought that it was the graphics card failing, but because I've done the broadcast for the past few weeks, and I always was wondering what was causing the iRacing to crash. I thought it was just because of the streaming. No, it just did it again on its own, because I was in here spectating. So I'll just stay in here to listen to the radio communications. But I want to go back to the point I was making with the 74 car. Yes, the hole was there, but it's the thing I talked about with the cautions preceding that, is that what are you running for? You're running just to get up to the 4th position on lap 35, and now you just watched a bunch of your teammates get involved in a wreck behind you. So it's just one of those things of like, yes, you can make the move. The hole might be there, but what are you running for? Especially trying to put it 4 wide like that on a track this tight. Because now it's just breeding more cautions, and it's just going to keep bringing us in a position where you're probably going to get involved in a wreck by doing something like that later on in the race. And now, not only that, a lot of these drivers that are involved in these type of moves or type of incidents, they're going to remember that later on.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Well, I mean, you even remembered, Noah. You're up in the commentator booth, and you're going, yep, typical. Like, that's kind of what we expected out of this so far this evening. So, yeah. It's a little early in a race like this to be making enemies, and I think you got to be careful with what kind of moves you make because you can have that happen. That's exactly what Tim Moore's going to have to deal with the rest of the way. But also, maybe they know that 74 car as a car to not be too pushy with because he'll just do what he wants anyway. So there's kind of 2 sides to that.
Somebody I want to give a shout out to kind of put a positive note right now. That number 1 car of Kyle Topman started all the way back in P30, one of the last 3 cars on the track. And now they're running up in the 5th spot right now. Pretty solid effort here in the first opening half of this race for them to run from the back all the way up to the top 10 and right in a position to take the lead of this race.
Yeah, I mean, this is kind of the circulation of cars and incidents and whatnot too, but there's a lot of cars that haven't really gotten caught up in an accident that Topman just very slowly has picked off. And yeah, it's good position. It's a little early, to say, but I think it shows the potential for Topman that, with 35 laps to go or something, even if he's at the tail end of the field, he has an opportunity to make something happen. So, yeah, just test out the waters. You've got plenty of race left to play with, so see what happens. But Kyle Topman on the move right now. And as the green flag comes back out, so is Ryan Wayne as he takes over the race lead with Nathan Barrows giving him a shove.
This time you're going to see Wayne do what we've seen in the past, and that's get that jump on the high side. Now he's going to take over the race lead for one of the first time. And they're wrecking again.
Dylan Dreiling was in the wall hard there.
Christopher Williams, a good avoidance job there, jumping all the way down to the wall. He's going to gain a couple spots out of that.
Yep. And the yellow's back out. And I'm trying to find... There's Williams. We're going to have to run it back again here and follow Dylan Dreiling. I'm trying to find him in timing and scoring so we can get back to... There he is. All right, let's catch the replay now and see what happens to Dylan. One more time. All right, so he's following Moore and Sora, and then he's got Chase Willis behind him, and Sora's actually the one that gets the wiggle. He slides.
24 car. But of course, he had the stack up behind him because of the fact that he was getting shoved by the 83 car.
Yeah, and then Willis just has nothing really he can do. It's just kind of a stack up that ends up putting the 83 car in the wall pretty significantly, and everybody evasively avoids, but is anybody else going to be involved in this? I don't think so. I think we got a single car incident here. Does bring out the yellow, but it was fairly tame for the majority of the field. So
the unfortunate thing about that too, you can see there's actually Bobby Blazer. He actually gets the entire nose ripped off his car because of that incident.
Mm-hmm. He's got some damage there too.
So this is actually a dual car incident because of the fact that now both of them are going to have some pretty significant damage to repair. But the thing that stinks for Dylan Dreiling is the fact that he qualified well, but he came all the way from the back of the field on the start. I think he had connection issues. He started 2 laps down and was able to run his way up there to the top 5 with his teammates. And now, again, halfway into this race, and he is now having significant damage he needs to repair to try and get himself in a position to try and win this race.
Well, I don't know if it's a fast repair or if that's just small amounts of damage for the 83 car. Why don't we go ahead and make a check-in? We haven't talked to anybody in a few, so we'll bring Dylan Dreiling the short end of the stick to you, Dylan, in that last incident. But tell me a little bit about how that transpired and if there's anything you can do to work around that.
From what I saw, Tim Moore is just pushing like hell. and the ARCA car doesn't like that. And we stacked up. I got put in the wall in the blink of an eye. I don't believe there was much I could do there personally. But you'll have that on these races.
Yep. So tell me about what you're like. What do you do about that? I mean, you guys got to have some communication there to say, right? You all should know, like, hey, we can't do this kind of thing. So, but it still happens, and it's so early in the race. Like, what is the reasoning? Is it just like people want to go for some reason or another? They want to get up front so quick?
Oh yeah, you got aggressive guys. Timmy's one of them, certainly. And I mean, that was a big stack up. Timmy lifted. I tried to lift. I assume the guy behind me probably tried to as well. And, you know, there was just too many of us to lift. And at that point, we're all getting thrown in the wall, you know?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Oh, fair enough. Well, what the damage consensus? Did you take a fast repair there, Dylan? It looks like you got fixed up pretty quick. Oh, yeah. He said, oh, yeah.
The right front was off of it. I had a meatball.
Good enough. Well, hey, used it, but you've got what? Well, we're not quite halfway, but you got some time left in this race, and I guess the strategy is just going to be to take it a little easy from here on out, I assume, for a while.
The strategy is to stay away from Tim Moore.
Well, you're going to be in trouble because you're starting right behind him.
Yeah. So this is the thing I kind of want to ask. I'm sorry to butt in, but I think I'm interested in this because you followed him for a good chunk of the race. I mean, how tough is it? Because you guys are technically teammates because you had the same paint schemes, but how tough is it to follow this guy through some of these moves considering just how aggressive he's been? Because about the last 3 or 4 cautions, I've seen him right there in the middle of it.
See, I like aggression, so I was egging him on, going, go for it. And then, you know, suddenly 3 became 4 wide, and we wrecked there, and then, you know, this last caution, it's clear we got to chill out, you know?
So that 4 wide moment also had your balls in your throat too?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I just was chilling, and all of a sudden, my doors were being touched. And you'll have that.
I'll love to see it, man. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Yeah, of course.
And that is the driver of the 83 car. It's good to get the honesty, even with the teammates. It's good to get good reference.
We're actually going great here. So this is an interesting development. Because of the fact of how many wrecks, I've heard John say over the last few cautions that if this persists, we will change the restarts. And yeah, we are now single file, but John, again, not too happy with the restart just because of the fact there's some massive checkers of people trying to anticipate the restarts, and there seem to be some problems going on in the back.
You know, we messaged back and forth as Mo Perry's in the wall. 54 car's just trying to keep it straight here. He's still working on getting that car repaired during these yellows and make something of this evening. He's just got to keep waiting it out. A lot of cars in the field actually are doing that right now. We messaged back and forth with John. Oh, Presley, holy shit. Okay, well, we're okay now. Presley's definitely got damage on the car. Holy moly. And if I can get in this statement with Shulcheski, we talked to him, messaged. He said he was very excited about this race. He said with these cars and this racetrack, he was anticipating a good show. He was anticipating some really good racing. He just got turned.
And he saved it. Chris Williams too. Just a massive shot to the rear, and that about killed him.
It did, but he saved it. Great save from Shulcheski. But yeah, he was anticipating some really good racing out of tonight, and unfortunately, just a little bit of aggression, a little bit of greed goes a long way in these wrecks that we've seen so far. And now it's just a little bit calmer, and we ticked off a few laps under green this time instead of just 1.
I think the fact that they almost wrecked there is what calmed it down, because you look at the single file restart. I honestly think that restart was more chaotic than any of the double file restarts because of the fact you had these cars so single filed that you had the inside line completely opened up, and that allowed these momentum runs to just generate like a tornado, just spinning out of control. And rather than having the entire traffic jam just kind of congregate up to the middle of the racetrack, now they're just open to do whatever the hell they want. Now the rubber band is starting to get stretched real thin because they are almost about to go 3 wide deep in the field.
Oh, the battle up at the front's really exciting. You saw Chris Williams just bring so much momentum into turns 1 and 2. Actually had to get off the throttle once he caught to the back of Nathan Barrows' machine. That was the 58 car on track, scored as the 60, Madeline Roten trying to make a move around Ryan Vargas. To the inside goes Barros, and now Gavin Newton makes it 3 wide into the middle for 3rd place on the racetrack. He follows Vargas through the middle with the 01 car down there as well. The 2 Barros drivers kind of going back and forth here. One's in 2nd, one's in 6th. and Ryan Vargas still holding out at the front on the race lead. But yep, you're absolutely right, Noah. We did have a little bit of chaos with that single file restart, but now that we're back to green fully, we had a good solid run there where nothing crazy happened. I don't know how long that's going to last, though. There's still 3 wide at the line.
Well, you almost saw that wreck happen, and there's a caution. I'm not
and
sure.
there's
Believe it involves. Oh no, it's the number 42 car again.
Ronald Swikey, the one bringing out the yellow here in the 42 machine. I think it's a single car incident, which is really a shame because we were running really well up at the front. We have passed. Let me do my math. Nope, we're going to pass halfway under the yellow. So we will be halfway through the race this time. Unfortunately, like back when we come from green. Let's catch a replay back of Ronald Swikey. See what happened here. So he's got
Damaged
Blazer.
cars.
Yeah, the damaged car's at the back kind of riding it out, and then Blazer's going to be pushing him, and this might be Bobby. I wonder what's about to happen here.
They're just not able to get lined up, and, no nose kind of puts you in a tough spot, and he's going to get turned.
Yeah. Oh, and he turned him, too. Really?
Yeah, but that wasn't even so much him trying to turn him. It's just the fact they don't have a nose, so those contact points are a little bit more like jumbled up compared to if it was normal. Because of the fact that he wasn't lined up, it just ends up with him just getting turned, and now at that point he says, screw it, fast repair time.
Well, he's going to have to that time, unless you want to be sitting still for... if you want to sit still for 10 minutes, then yeah, but...
Hey, I do want to call the attention, though. I'm sorry to interrupt you. We have all the leaders making their way down pit road right now. Vargas is leading the charge.
Wow. Well, we've gotten this far into it, actually. Ryan Vargas has not hit the pit lane at all in this race so far. Him, Nathan Barros, looks like Kyle Topman. There's a few drivers who have yet to come through the pit lane, and this is their first time. And they come in, and we'll see what the race looks like coming out. As who stayed out? Chase Willis stayed out. Tim Moore, Nathan Moeller, Dylan Dreiling, Matthew Gretchen, and Rex Jenkins, and Mateo Mitchell, and Ronald Swikey, who already pitted. So, yeah, most of the field, whether coming in for repairs or just topping off to keep going, are in the pit lane. There's Mo Perry coming into that front box. 71 car of Mike Campbell wins the race off pit road.
Ashley Kolonic's picking up a lot of spots off pit road as well.
And where is Vargas?
Vargas is third out.
Okay.
He was third out behind Kolonix, but Kolonix with a great pit stop, she's going to gain a couple spots, but with the drivers that did stay out, which was majority of the PepsiCo drivers, Nathan Muller's not one of them, that's an apology. Timothy J. Moore is the one that's leading the charge of the PepsiCo team. Dylan Dreiling, who was involved in an accident earlier, is now back up in fourth. Matthew Graken, who in that 10 car running the Rat Bag font number 10, he's back in the fifth spot. So right now, and again, look, a couple cars back. I'm not sure if that car is a lap down or not. No, in the ninth spot, that's Mateo Mitchell waiting for timing and scoring to kind of loop around because of the fact of where the leaders were when they pitted. He's going to move himself up into about the seventh spot.
I'm trying to find where timing and scoring has Mateo Mitchell. He's seventh. There he is. Okay. Yeah, so Mateo Mitchell has slowly cycled back to the front halfway into this race, as the halfway point will be completed at the end of this lap, which is under yellow. So
good recovery effort by the 82 car as well. Remember, he was running up at the front for a majority of the race until he got spun off the nose through the tri-oval, did not get the grace of that caution, but now he is going to be back up there in the top 10 with the majority of his teammates. And just to give an update on the incident, a review has come out from Jonathan Shuletsky. The number 90 car of Bobby Blazer will be sent to the end of the line for that incident.
I think that's fair, even though I don't think it was purposeful. I think it was that's a fair thing to do with Bobby because of the circumstances, but tough deal for him. He's struggling right now. And we've got smoke.
Not sure where that's coming from.
That was smoke.
There is a damaged car. It's a 98 of Presley Sora running all the way back around the racetrack with engine damage.
I'm going to hit the replay button here. Yeah, you're right. I can see just a little bit of smoke coming out of it. Ooh.
Oh, did he wreck?
One more. Let's see what happens here. Two more. Coming out of the pit lane. All on his own.
I think he's just going to hit the apron. Oh, no, I think I know what's going to happen here. He money shifts it.
Oh, my gosh.
Just completely rips the rods out of the bottom of that Ilmore engine.
Yep, he money shifted it. You're right. Caught it weird.
And he spun again, exiting the pits. He just did it again.
No.
As the field's coming back to green.
Man. Did he money shift the second time?
No, he just spun it.
He just spun it.
He just got in a hurry trying to exit the pits, and he almost did the exact same spin, just without the gear incident this time.
Well, the leaders come out of turn. Oh, shit. And we're wrecking again. Oh, boy.
Oh, wow. Almost bigger than the last time.
And that was a 71 car, Mike Campbell in the wall.
That was one of the cars that did stay out there.
Yep, and that's a tough deal for a 71 as we are back to green. Chase Willis leads. Timothy Moore, Matthew Gretchen running second and third side by side here. Past halfway, so we're trying to get closer to the end of this race. And Chase Willis will be the leader this time. Vargas sitting in pretty in the middle there. I think Dylan Dreiling's in the mix. Gavin Newton's a little bit squirrely down the backstretch. And there's Presley Sora as he's going to become a lapped car now, and the field passes him by.
They're running three wide pretty deep now as the number 83 of Dylan Dreiling gets hung out to dry in the middle. He's going to try and use the toe of his teammate to kind of gain back in. He might be able to luck out, but he's running three wide there with Richter Jenkins and Ryan Vargas. And he's going to lose all momentum. He's going to get sucker holed all the way to the back. Kyle Topman gets contact in the outside wall. He's going to lose even more spots as they are just kind of stuck in a kind of a bubble of air right now. No one's really able to clear the momentum enough to catch the draft of the 74 car, and they're just kind of towing each other back and forth as the top three start to get a bit of a breakaway here.
Whoa. Rex Jenkins. Man, I'm surprised that wasn't. Hey, they saved it. But it was cool. Everybody's hitting the wall off the little kink there. It was cool to see because what you were saying was absolutely correct, Noah. That little bubble that they were causing by running so close together, like they were shoving the air over the spoilers of each other's cars and keeping themselves backwards. That is the 44 of Chase Willis. He was leading. He is no longer. There's a bit of separation here. Matthew Gretchen leads with Timothy Moore pushing. Ryan Vargas and William Schmidt going to the outside of them and past the line again. The 10 car scored as the 110. Will lead that time, but man, Ryan Vargas, just the speed on the outside is unmatched. And him and William Schmidt will just drive around the 110 and the 74, and Vargas is back into the race lead.
And to give you an update on what happened there to the 44 Chase Willis, I did go back to look at it. He left that inside line open, and behind him was at number 10 of Matthew Gretchen and the 74 of Timothy J. Moore. He left that inside line open, and those two PepsiCo teammates stuck together. They sucker hold him on the inside, and he got shuffled out of line and took over the race lead. But you talk about Ryan Vargas, I need to look at his racing reference. I think he has some real-life experience at this racetrack. So if anyone's going to know how the momentum runs around this place, it's going to be him. He's running high, wide, and handsome. He is just in control of this race all over the place, whether it's on the inside, whether it's on the bottom, whether he's first or he's 15th. He is just able to find the runs he needs to go take the lead as they are, again, three wide deep in the field. That's going to be the points leader, Ashley Kolonix, right in the middle of it, along with the 10 of Matthew Gretchen and the number 83 Dylan Dreiling, and they're going to try and sort itself out as now Gavin Newton eagerly jumps to the middle to try and make his name in there.
And it was amazing just how much momentum and how calmly Ryan Vargas could lead the way on the top side when everybody was in tow with him, but they gave him up. They left him to dry, and William Schmidt takes over the race lead. Huge shot between Gretchen and Vargas there as Vargas tries to get back in line. William Schmidt takes over the race lead. Rex Jenkins second, Ashley Kolonix third. There's Vargas now coming back into the picture. They're three wide back there a little bit. Jenkins kind of all over the place in second. That's not really helping William Schmidt, but it's not going to hurt him either because he doesn't have the momentum to worry about someone going to his outside, and there's into the wall hard for the number 25 car.
And it's going to be your points leader. That's Gavin Newton, a hard hook as well.
And the yellow flag is back out.
And Rex Jenkins immediately gets on voice comms and apologizes, and you can already see what happened. He just goes for a block that wasn't really there.
That was a little short-sighted. Not really the best move there from the 25 car. Kind of already knew that was going to happen. Tough deal. We'll have to pull the replay.
Major damage, too.
Yeah, let's get this replay going here and see what's going down, even though we already saw it transpire. One more time here. So, William Schmidt leads, Rex Jenkins, Ashley Kolonix, Ryan Vargas. That's the order of those four cars front of screen. And you're going to see Kolonix move up to try to make a run. I'm going to see if there's a better camera angle for this. This is... Yep, and you just come across there, Rex Jenkins, and then already, I mean, you're just quarter panel to front nose, you're going around. And Moore's involved, Gavin Newton now. This is the part where Newton gets hooked from behind. Not a good camera angle to see that. But Newton into the wall, top left of your screen. We'll hit that one more time.
You can see there's more. Gonna hook into the 69 car, and that just starts a domino effect. And then the 48 car just tails it, and with the driver's side door into that outside wall, just to make sure he gets a piece of it as well. Pit road is open this time by, and as you would expect, a lot of the drivers involved in that wreck are making their way down the long drive down pit road. Ashley Kolonix being one of them. She's all the way down towards the tail end of the field. She might have gotten away with that. The only real damage I'm seeing is that front nose kind of caved in, kind of like a sad blobfish mouth. But I would say, considering what she went through, she might have gotten away lucky with that.
I would think so, and I think I'm surprised. I would be surprised if that was anything more than some optional repairs for Kolonix. So this is going to probably not be too bad of a deal for the 69 team, especially considering we are just past 40 laps to go. This evidently seems like it's going to keep happening, so that's unfortunate. And yeah, I wonder what John Szulczewski is going to say about the whole deal when we're done tonight, what he's going to say to his field of drivers, because there were 33 drivers who we were anticipating a pretty good show out of, and unfortunately, it's just kind of been a caution fest. But
I think from what I remember hearing him saying on voice comms, he's already considering maybe taking this race off the schedule next year just because of how much of a wreck fest this has become. We've had good racing in between, but it's just a lot of drivers getting way too excited and they're too eager to make moves that they probably shouldn't be, and it just results in people getting turned.
Yeah, well, it's this interesting thing that we have to call out about racing on iRacing, racing in video games, is you don't have any real ramifications to the way you drive. So a lot of times people start getting a little antsy or impatient, and you're not trained to have any sort of like consequence to your actions, more or less. So they drive a little bit more aggressively, and unfortunately you're also up against the fact that you're as nice of a simulator as you can have. At the end of the day, you're reacting to visuals. You're not reacting to anything you feel, smell, hear, or whatnot. So the way that you could do the exact same thing in a real car and have a way better sense of what's actually going on, but we also just get really excited. So then things happen. And that's unfortunate. Yeah. And we're wrecking under caution. Oh, back there. I saw the 42 car jump out of line to try not to make contact.
I heard Ashley pipe up on the radio. I'm not sure if she was involved in that or not. I don't assume so. But as you can see, the field is now double file, and the way that John has set it over race comms is that because of the fact you had a 5-lap run, they're going to go double file. If there's one more wreck, I believe it's going to be single file rest of the way. So this is their last chance.
Wow. Well, let's see what happens.
Back into the restart zone, and we are racing, and they're going to go 3. Whoa!
He almost turned the leader before we even got to the stripe there. Chris Williams did, and that actually helped them.
Yeah, Vargas already apologized. I think he was trying to anticipate the start and got caught sleeping, but he left that inside line open enough that Williams was going to try and maybe poke to the inside, but Vargas went for the block and almost turned himself.
Yep, and Vargas back to 4th place, goes back to 3rd there past Ryan Wayne. Ryan Wayne's had a pretty good night in the 39. And back to the stripe again. William Schmidt leading the way over Mateo Mitchell. Mateo Mitchell is back in the picture. The number 82 Toyota that we saw leading the way early on in this race. He's back up there. 7-up car, second on your screen, you see. And the field's pretty spaced out once you get past the top 10. this Jade Gray in the 19, scored as the 119. That's the car we're following, just to show kind of where the tail end of this little bubble is. But you got a nice little pack here that could just, anything could happen.
You can see once again they come off that corner with how quick of a reaction you have to have when you enter that tri-oval. It just opens up these lanes, and drivers are eager to fill those holes to try and get any sort of run they can to advance their position. Christopher B. Williams now going to get caught up on the high side with no one to help him, and he's going to fall like a rock right now as he tries to hold on to the run to keep steady with the middle and the inside lane. He's really side by side with Madeline Rowan, and once again here comes Timothy J. Moore in that Mountain Dew Code Red car, and now Mateo Mitchell in the 82 car is going to jump on the inside, and he's like, I'm not going to fight with this. You guys can fend for yourself. He's wisely going to jump all the way back to the tail end of the field as they are still 3 wide ahead of him.
They are, and they're in the wall a little bit. I think that was John Daniels sliding off turn 2 there when we went past. Madeline Roten there in 3rd place, 58 car on screen. She jumps up behind Ryan Vargas here, right here. They move around a lot going into turn 1. Yeah, it's squeeze point.
Yeah, those 4 lanes start to become 3, and when you're 4 wide, you have nowhere else to go. And this is a really tight spot to be having right here. They are 3 by 2 right now. Now they're 3 by 3 as Christopher Williams going to give a massive shot to 91 car Vargas to try and give him a shot to fend for the lead against Madeline Roten. Vargas going to jump down to the middle lane with the push from Dylan Dreiling as he makes their way across to start-finish line to complete lap number 65 as Vargas now holding steady with the race lead. Dreiling holding on in second, and he's going to go for the race lead. He's going to peek underneath to try and take the lead from Vargas as he makes his way off of turn number 2.
Saw Gretchen just have a ton of momentum, and Gretchen's in the wall.
Turned.
Damn it. That was really good racing.
Well,
that was really good.
Looks like Kolonix again involved in that, but she might have gotten away with that.
And Matthew Gretchen had a fantastic run out of turn number 2, and it all goes out the window, and that car's in some pretty tough shape there too. That's really tough for Gretchen and that team. We're going to go back and catch the replay. We saw it transpire live, but he's just going to move up across Christopher B. Williams and into the wall. Just nothing he could do at this point, especially at this point. But the rest of the field trying to slow down and get around him, just can't quite do it. Kolonix with a little bit of a tap. Nate Moeller and Jade Gray both getting pieces of this. Oh, and John Szulczewski got in there hard too. He ARCA braked though. That was pretty big.
That was a nasty impact, and that's where a lot of damage. He's gonna come right back down to the path of that 44 car. And he's gonna rip his nose off for good measure. I don't even know, good measure. Thank you. Words.
Yeah. That's okay. We finish each other's sentences and sandwiches here. Well, we're on lap 6-7.
6-7.
6-7. I loved how unenthusiastic you sounded right there.
We're getting into the endurance stage of this race now.
We are. I mean, we've run more time under yellow than we will run green the whole way. Who can we check in with? Who should we check in with, Noah?
I kind of want to see if we can't talk to either Vargas or Madeline Roten, honestly.
We can talk to we can talk to either one. Take your pick.
Let's go ahead and talk with the guy that's been dominating the night's race. I'm going to go ahead and drag up Ryan Vargas. Ryan Vargas, you have dominated the race so far here tonight. You're the one guy that's able to really find the runs. What has been the secret to give you these chances to go out here and take a shot at the race lead?
Yeah, just, I feel really comfortable in my Lucky Dog Mobile Groomers Ford Mustang. It's, at the end of the day, I feel confident with the moves. I feel comfortable, especially in that second lane. I think if I'm able to get somebody to just work with me, we could kind of roll away from the pack, but once we get established up top, somebody tries to send it low. So, really just trying to manipulate the air the best I can, putting the cars in the bottom in a compromising spot to, allow myself to come out on the better end on exit of the corner and keep that speed. So, just making the most of the momentum.
And, we haven't really seen too many long runs. I think the longest run we've had tonight is about 10 or so laps. Does that kind of help you make these kind of aggressive moves, knowing that caution that is not going to be that far away?
Yeah, it kind of, the big thing for me is just I want to stay ahead of it, right? So if I'm in the front, 2, front 3, front 4, it allows me to kind of have that confidence in the fact that, okay, I'm not really going to get swept up in anything crazy there.
And then as we go back to grain here, one of the things I talked about at the beginning of the race is the fact that when we go to Atlanta now, it's starting to get that old bumpy Daytona surface, but we're still on the kind of the new glassy surface. Just how much of a difference is it coming back to a racetrack like this when it was brand new and fresh compared to the bumps that we now see at this track when we go there in live?
Yeah, I mean, the biggest thing is on here, it's very gripped up. We're flat foot to the floor, speedway style racing, whereas in real life, you are modulating the throttle a little bit while you're not completely releasing the throttle. You're lifting to about, as much as probably lifting about 30-40% off the throttle, sometimes even more than that if you're in a compromising spot. So it's really just about keeping the car underneath you, finding that fine balance between trimmed out and setup.
All right, man, we'll go look out there and hopefully get to speak to you after the race.
That's the plan. See you soon.
Hell yeah.
Dude, I'm sorry. I'm going to cheese a little bit here. A legitimate NASCAR driver was interviewed, and it was on my YouTube channel. My YouTube channel has that on it now and will forever, and that's really cool. So, good idea, Noah. Thank you for that. That was fun.
So, someone who shared a seat with Lupe Souza.
I actually might like that even better. That's cool.
Hall of Famer Lupe Souza.
I have a very soft spot in my heart for Monster Jam, and even though it's not what it used to be, I always will. But maybe I sound like a boomer for saying that. Let's go back to Green Flag Racing. We're back underway. Ryan Vargas just obliterated everybody off the restart.
Once again, he's going to clear Schmidt with ease, and now he's going to take charge of that inside line. Madeline Roten with Nathan Barrows behind him. Nathan Barrows is actually going to abandon the outside lane. He's going to shove him back to Gavin Newton, who's going to try and also stick him up on the high side, as now Matty Roten, who restarted back in the 4th spot, dropping like a rocket. They're wrecking again.
Holy shit. It's the crash from Cars.
Get through that, McQueen.
Can't get through that, McQueen. Oh, there he goes. There's Mo Perry. Mo Perry was Lightning McQueen there. Oh, boy. Who'd that start with? Let's jump this backwards.
I want to say that was the one of Totman.
Yeah. Good catch. All right, let's see what we got here. So we're coming out of 2, just off the restart. John Daniel's going to move to the outside of Totman. They're catching quickly. Yeah, Totman hit Wayne. That's where the bunch up starts. And then shoop. And then one of the Barros brothers.
I think this all is really going to start with the fact that Roten got hung out to dry, and Gavin went to kind of put him in the similar position, and that just caused a massive checkup from behind, and that's what's really kicked off all of that.
Yeah. I'll get this run back one more time from a different camera angle. This is after Roten got that run blocked off, and then big spin from Totman, goes across the track, Barros involved, and then Sora gets chimed in, and all of that. That's where all of this comes into play. So that's going to be your incident that's going to cause this yellow. We're getting down to 25 laps to go. When we restart, I think we'll have 25 laps to go, maybe 1 or 2 less. So we're ticking off the laps very slowly as we continue forward. A lot of cars coming into the pit lane now, as this has kind of resorted to this. And they'll come through the pit lane. Ryan Vargas stayed out. Austin ripped, as he should. Austin ripped one of them. Just getting all these cars repaired. I can't imagine that all these cars are that light on how much damage they've got to fix. So some of these guys are just being strategic to get back out on the racetrack.
I think it's just at this point, take the tires you can get, have as much grip as you can, and then try and make the runs that you need to go out there for the win. Because like you said, we're now kind of in that position now where we're in the final 20 laps, and that's kind of where I said the go point is. So now it's kind of bring your own balls. Let's see what you got, and kind of hang them up there and see what kind of runs you can put together, because now you need to put yourself in a position where you have a chance to win. So if they weren't aggressive already, now everything getting thrown out the window because you need to start putting yourself in position where you can try and have a shot at going to victory lane.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, now it's if you thought this was a mess before, you just wait, because it's about to get way worse, is basically what Noah just said.
Yes.
So
Where we are not done.
we are not done. We've got plenty to go, and I think we're going to be seeing plenty more of this.
We're gonna keep it to double file.
I'm surprised by that. I thought John called that off. I thought we weren't doing that anymore.
I think if there was another quickie caution, but I'm not sure. I'm not sure what the decision was to keep it double file.
Well, the only two cars that are not on the racetrack are these two, both one lap down, Presley Sora and Nathan Moeller, so they must have more significant damage. Mo Perry's just been slowly ticking off getting this car repaired. So,
Like we said, there is a lot more wrecks to happen, so I'm not surprised that he's in that position where he's possibly trying to hold on to that fastest pair, knowing that there's at least probably going to be one more big one, I would say.
yeah, but it would suck to be in the situation like Ronald Swikey where you get to the point where you did all of this saving of the car and you had saved the faster pair, but you end up needing to use it before it's ready to really race anyway. Like, I'd much rather get the car fixed and then crash significantly and fast repair it than, like, if he gets caught up in some sort of stupid accident now. You know what I mean?
For sure.
Like, you just have to watch that. We're double file, so that means we will be back to restarting, which we'll see how many laps that takes as we will hit the line and have 25 laps remaining. So William Schmidt on the inside in the white number 79. That's a Toyota. Behind your leader, Ryan Vargas, is James Mendez. Been in and out from the front of the field in the Mobile One Racing number 92 Ford Mustang. And the green flag comes back out, and we'll run up through the gears and see how many laps we can get in this time.
James Mendez actually holds pretty tightly to the back bumper of the 91 car, but Vargas again gonna bang him down to the bottom in front of William Schmidt, which is exactly the person I would be pushing. He's gonna try and control both lanes right now. He's gonna jump back up in front of the 92 car. The 92 car says not so fast. He's gonna shove him up to the high side, and Gavin Newton's like, oh, why would I push him when I can push the guy that's been leading the whole race? Now Mendez stuck in the middle with nowhere to go. He's gonna fall back a ton of spots as the leaders decide to stick with the 91 car and push him back up to the front of the field.
Oh, man, I was scared of what Christopher Williams was doing there. I think Gavin Newton made a little bit of contact with the 92 car as well. As they started at the lead, but Vargas and Mendez have dropped back a couple spots. William Schmidt, Dylan Dreiling, Nathan Barros, Madeline Roten make a separation for the top four. Now, that's not going to last extremely long, but they are going to get through turns 3 and 4 here with a little bit of a run for Chris Williams. Chris B. Williams, that is a sleeper pick. He's really gotten good at getting himself into position when it counts, and we're coming we'll come to soon 20 laps to go. We're not quite there yet, but Williams getting into the picture, and things are starting to stir up a little bit. I think the pace is getting a little bit faster, too.
As much as I love Chris Williams, I've known him for a good number of years. He's a guy that, even though he puts himself in a good spot, he knows how to wreck him up as well, even if it's not his fault. It just about happened there with the big shot he got down the back straightaway. He's going to lead that outside line, running side by side with Madeline Roten, but he's again has Mendez shoving him from behind. He is now up to the 4th car in line as they make their way back into turn number 1.
Oh,
and
there he goes.
He's going to get turned. Big hit into the wall.
Oh, my God. Oh, and Vargas is involved in this as well.
That's a big hit.
That reminded me of a different crash.
Oh!
Man,
done.
we're still wrecking.
I think Mo Perry was involved in that. He is not happy.
Oh, that is not good for Mo Perry.
I think
well,
at least he had the faster pair.
We're gonna have to pull this back. So Chris B. Williams in front of the 92 car. There's
Mendez shoots for the hole, and Chris goes to close it, and then we already know what that looks like.
Yep, Gavin Newton and Vargas getting around each other there, and Vargas gets sent right back up the racetrack after contact with Tim Moore. Now, I'm not going to blame Tim Moore for that contact, and then Van Scoy gets a hard piece of Vargas. And then who's this other car that comes in at the last second?
That was the 19 car, and that is the person that Mo Perry is upset with, I believe.
Well, not that 19.
So there's the 01. He's going to... Oh.
That nice.
Oh.
What the heck was that?
I'm going to go back because we see the 90 car of Bobby Blazer right behind him.
That's Devin Lentz. So Mo Perry's backing down for the caution.
Bobby's not. He has a 44 car behind him.
Bobby was
as well.
Bobby was. Chase Willis was not. And Bobby gets into the 19 because he got rammed by Chase Willis.
Oh.
Yep. And sorry, I literally did the Fox broadcasting thing there. But Chase Willis is the one who gets into Mo Perry. And then here's Devin Lentz again.
Yeah, so my apology to Bobby Blazer there.
Yeah, so that's I mean, it's fair because that's Willis getting into Blazer and causing all of that. But unfortunately for Devin Lentz, he's going to get the short end of that. I mean, there's a lot of people getting the short end of that. That's a tough break for a lot of drivers.
The 19 car is, I don't know if he's getting an EOL penalty for contact or not, but he just got an EOL penalty.
Oh, the 92 just took a fast repair as well.
But he got some pretty significant damage, so I don't blame him at all.
Yeah, huge damage there. Is Chris Williams in here? We'll see if...
Yes, I think...
I don't see him.
He's down... No, he's not. I think I know which Discord he is going to be in. Yeah, he's in another Discord.
Okay, yeah, so we are not going to bring Chris Williams into here. Would be interesting to talk to him, but unfortunately, we will not. We are going to hit lap 80, this time past the line. Dylan Dreiling has taken over the race lead. Nathan Barros in second, William Schmidt third, Madeline Roten fourth. That group of 4 cars separated themselves from the field, Noah, when we were green. And it turns out that was the right thing to do, like obviously, but also just to stay away from the melee that ended up coming out of that sort of mix there.
And I'm sorry, I'm listening to the race control. John. Oh. So, there's the call. The 44 car gets called for a plow. But the 90 car of Bobby Blazer also gets called for a plow. That is the second incident of the night. They're actually going to disqualify him for that.
Wow. I'm sure he's thrilled about that.
Which, you talked about it. He didn't really... Like, that wasn't too much his fault. Like, yes, there was that bit of contact because of the fact that he was the one who hit Mo. But, I mean, he had a car behind him. He didn't really have much option there.
Yeah, that's actually kind of harsh. I don't know about that. Because he wasn't even the one who checked up. And they're checking up here down the back chute. But I think the 92 car... Excuse me, end of line.
So I need to look, because I need to see who's all in this other Discord. So that is Presley. That's Blazer. Yeah, Presley. Basically, all the Running Racing's car are in the Gavin car Discord.
The Runnings Racing's team has had a very bad, no good night.
They've run about the front, it's just they've been caught up in dumb incidents.
Yeah, but that's unfortunately, like, that's the name of it. That's the name of the night they've had. Gavin's been involved in a lot of these incidents. And sitting in 10th place, still got more to go. We'll see what happens as the green flag comes back out. On to lap number 81. Gavin's basically their last bullet in the chamber to try to win this race because Presley's out of it. Blazington just got sent out of it. Williams, he's not coming back out. So yeah, you're looking at Gavin Newton as your last resort.
And you see now the PepsiCo cars are controlling the narrative right now at the front of the field with about 20 laps to go right now. You see 1, 2, 4, and 5 right now. William Schmidt in a sandwich of Pepsi cars as here comes the 10 car of Gretchen now going to jump up to the top side. He's going to try and lead the way to make it a PepsiCo top 5 as they continue to move through the top of the field as they're now 2 cars up by themselves as Madeline Roten now pushing behind William Schmidt as they're again going to get jumbled up as they make their way down the backstretch.
Well, Madeline Roten and Schmitty race with each other a lot, with these cars and with other cars, OSRL, JOHNCAR, Gavin car races, etc. So Schmitty and Roten are probably prone to race well with each other, and at this point, you're stuck. You're teammates now. Like, you're in this mix of all of these PepsiCo cars. You've got to work together if you want to make something happen. It's the numbers game that we saw at Daytona earlier this year, where if you don't have the numbers and you don't have the ability to snooker the rest of the cars around you, you can't do anything. So the PepsiCo team definitely dominating this, especially right now looking at this 3-car lead on the bottom side and then having Tim Moore kind of as playing blocker, like tight end on the outside here. He's holding Gavin Newton down, although I think we're just trying to tick off some laps. I think everybody's just kind of content to sit in line for the moment, and that's good because that'll take us off a little bit closer to the end of this race where we probably inevitably will see more nonsense coming.
And if you don't look too far behind back there in the 12th spot, Mateo Mitchell in 82, Harry Polestar, another one of those PepsiCo cars who has openly stated in the voice comms that he's running a bit conservative at the moment. He is running back there also the lead pack, so don't count the PepsiCo cars out. They are running strong. But the question I'm going to bring up is one of the things that Dylan Drilling talked about is how aggressive some of his teammates are with the moves they're making. How long is this whole like working together thing going to last before one of them's like, no, I want to win this race. No, I want to win this race.
I totally agree with you, Noah, but I do think they're in a really good position, and if
they're
they get
really
impatient, if they get impatient now, I think you're doomed to go to the tail of the field. Like, this is exactly what they needed. This is exactly what they wanted, and they can just control this and get it down to the wire. I mean, if you're Dylan Dreiling and Nathan Barros, it's like, yeah, no worries, we're chilling. And if you're Matthew Gretchen, Timothy Moore, and you're sitting second in line, it's like, hey, guy, look, you are pushing your teammate, and all you have to do is keep in line, and you can tick yourself off another 5 to 7 laps to get closer to the finish, get closer to the opportunity to win the race. And, you've got to get there either way. So to me, I'm like, dude, just chill, just ride. Like, make it to the end of the race, and then do your nonsense with, 5 laps to go. Realistically speaking, I see no reason for these guys to get into an incident before lap 92. So we should be able to do 5 more laps.
One of the things I was interested in by is the fact that Dylan Dreiling jumped down to the bottom, because when I mentioned that they're in a really good spot is the fact they had 2 cars controlling both lanes, and then Dreiling jumped down low to get in front of Barrows and Gretchen, and that leaves Timothy J. Moore to fend for himself on the top side. And here comes Gavin Newton, the last bull in the chambers for the Running Racing's team. He's going to try and make the move up to the high side to force the 74 car into no man's land, but it's not going to work as they continue to control both lanes. But I would assume if you want to have the full control of the race is that you want to just really control both lanes right now. But now they just kind of stay hung out to dry now.
I don't know. It's interesting because, they have enough control. Timothy Moore leading the top side and the 3 cars on the bottom, they have enough control. However, if I'm William Schmidt, Madeline Roten, Gavin Newton, I want to get in between them. I want to get into the mix of their little tornado up at the front, and they are so close to doing that. William Schmidt has been very close to clearing the 74 car a few times, and I feel like strategically it almost might be the move to get up in front of the 74, even if the bottom side has a little bit of a run, just because then you're in the mix with them and you can ride out whatever strategy they're about to pull on you. But we're inside 10 laps to go, coming to 9 laps to go. Dylan Dreiling leads the way. Nathan Barros and Matthew Gritchen, the PepsiCo team, has 4 of their cars leading the way, and they've just got the ability to completely control this right now. Gavin Newton, William Schmidt, Ashley Kolonix, Madeline Roten, that's the crew of drivers who are trying to figure out a way around this group and see what they can do together to get into the mix of this. Coming back to 8 laps to go. We're coming inside of that window I said where, we're getting to the point where if somebody's going to start making dramatic moves, okay, we're getting close to the end of the race. And Gavin Newton might be the guy to do it.
And I'm sorry for the stutter there, because I was listening to the radio communications, because you saw the aggression that Gavin was giving to Timothy J. Moore, and that's a bit of frustration as well. He came over the radio and voiced his frustration, saying that he felt that he was getting brake checked by the 74 car, trying to hold up the lanes to get with his buddies in the PepsiCo car, and he about threatened to turn him if he kept it up. So you can see the aggression is full on there. He's either told him, you're either going to run up to the front and get this push and go for the race lead, or you're going to find your way to the outside wall. He's not going to be playing these games with the checkups, but I don't think that was really what was going on. But regardless, Gavin Newton has gone full aggression right now, and he wants to take the lead of this race.
Well, one thing I'm noticing as you say that, Noah, is that you're absolutely right. Gavin is just all over his rear bumper. It's not like he bumps him and then there's a little bit of a gap. He is consistently on that bumper. So he's got the speed and he's flooring it, and he is pushing that 74 car as much as he can. So maybe he's right. And now Dylan Dreiling and Nathan Barrows go side by side. 6 laps to go at the line. The PepsiCo cars go back to 2x2 down the front straightaway. Maybe strategic for them to work against Gavin Newton. They almost let it go there. Dylan Dreiling moved down. Timothy Moore went almost with him, and if Timothy Moore would have gone with him, that would have opened the top side up to everybody else. So that was a good move from the 74. And now if he wants to be strategic for his team, he stays up top, but he didn't. And that opens the door for Gavin Newton.
Gavin Newton now taking over the race lead with Ashley Klonix back there in the second spot. The points there now going to give a shove to the 48 car. They're going to go and take over the race lead. Will Gavin abandon ship? He will not. He's going to stay committed to the 69 car with Ryan Wayne, the 39 car, back in third. So now they are controlling the top side of the racetrack. And don't look too far behind. Check it out.
Jeez,
there's
big
the 42
wiggle.
car, Ronald
Oh, my
Swecky,
goodness.
and the 10 car. Oh, there's a big checkup. That's going to force the 10 car Gretchen out of line. But how about this? The 10 car and the 42 car were involved in early wrecks at the beginning of the race. Now up here in the top 10 in the final 5 laps, and they have a shot at the race win.
I'll tell you what, man, the PepsiCo team, if they can't get this back together and get themselves back up in front of this whole mess, I'm sorry, Timothy Moore just completely let that go for them. Like, he had the opportunity to stay in front of the top side, and they could still manage both lanes, and they just completely let Gavin Newton through. And that whole momentum line of the top side of the racetrack, all those cars got past him, and now Ashley Kolonix is leading. Gavin Newton's in front of the PepsiCo team, so they're going to have to figure out a way around Gavin, and then after that be able to hold the momentum. And with 3 laps to go, they're going to have to start moving on it soon. Gavin Newton leads the lap.
And Ashley is going to get sucker hold. She is in the middle and is going to fall all the way to the back as Ryan Wayne took advantage of the hold that he found and is going to jump up to lead the outside lane. But don't look too far behind. There's that 91 car of Ryan Vargas. He had bided his time. It's one of the drivers, I believe that was the 10 car that got frustrated with him earlier, and Vargas telling him, hey man, relax, we still got time. And this is what he's talking about, because now he is third in line on the outside, and he is going to quickly find his way up to the front if these drivers aren't careful, as the PepsiCo cars are now given the push back to Gavin Newton that they were getting earlier, and they are all over the back bumper with 2 laps to go.
And Ronald Sweike down to the bottom side. He will take over the lead on the inside line. A lap and a half going to go back at it. Ryan Wayne and Ronald Sweike side by side. Gavin Newton pushing the 42 car. Got to keep it lined up here, guys. Keep it lined up here, guys. Ryan Vargas in the picture. William Schmidt as well. Ashley Kolonix on the top side. Coming through for white flag is going to come out, and we are going to finish this race under green. I can't believe we got this far. And Ryan Wayne leads past the white flag. Ryan Vargas to the outside now.
Vargas now going to lead the outside line. Ryan Wayne dumped down to the bottom side. He's going to jump in front of the number 42 of Ronald Swecky. They're going to go side by side through turns 1 and 2. The tandem duo of William Schmidt and Vargas now leading the charge. They are 3 wide behind as Ashley Klonix gets help from the 6 car. Through turns 3 and 4, they go for the final time. Ryan Wayne going to peek the nose underneath. Vargas goes for the block. Klonix goes up top. There's a big wreck in the back. They're going to run it to the line. No one's going to challenge number 91 of Vargas. He's going to win it as they cross the line in a massive wreck.
Massive wreck behind them. But they got there. Oh!
Big wreck after the finish.
Ooh. And Ryan Vargas leads the Ryan and Ryan show back to the stripe. I think he was in 6th place coming to the white flag. And none of the PepsiCo cars in the top 3 won in the top 5. Well deserved.
Yeah, Nathan Barrows leading the charge for the PepsiCo cars as the implosion just unbelievable.
Wow. And a well-deserved burnout from Ryan Vargas. That was a hell of a drive to get back up into the mix from that 91 car.
Those General tires are holding on.
I was going to let him ride it out. There it went.
There it goes. Knock the rods out.
Reminds me of the county fair. That's crazy. Wow, good stuff from Ryan Vargas. We will, in a moment, get to talk to, I'm going to give him a second, but we will get to talk to Ryan Vargas. We'll try to also talk to Ryan Wayne and William Schmidt, as they are your top 3. And I just want to make sure we give them time to get it calmed down. And I think, Noah, when you're ready, I think our winner is ready for us.
Well, we hope to talk to him at the end of the race, and lo and behold, he goes and takes the win. A dominant effort tonight for the 91 Ryan Vargas. Ryan, where did you get that run from coming there in the final laps to be able to get the charge to go for the race lead?
Sorry, I forgot I was on push to talk. Yeah, no, I mean, I felt like I was the only one that was really willing to hop into the top 3rd lane. That's where the grip and the speed was. I was able to kind of put the middle car into a vulnerable position and, make the moves I needed to make to get to the front. So, nonetheless, it was just a lot of fun being up front with my Lucky Dog Mobile Groomers Mustang. And, it's cool to do this. It's cool to be a part of this. I've been saying I'm going to run a JOHNCAR race for a while. Shout out, obviously John for putting this on, Gavin, everybody who does all this stuff. It's a really cool league. I've been a, watcher on the sidelines for a while, but never had a schedule line up to where I could race a race, and be fun to hop in and be able to be a part of it and get a win on debut.
I overheard in the voice comms a couple of drivers, I believe, were voicing frustrations with you possibly biding your time wanting to make the moves. Like, when was it that you decided now is the time I need to go run for the race lead?
Yeah, someone got frustrated with me in the race for taking a top of 3 with 8 to go, and I mean, look, we're 11th, 12th, 13th, and you're not going to win the race from there. So I knew I had to start making moves, and so I was making them when I needed to, and obviously it worked out. So nonetheless, just a lot of fun racing. I know it was a bit of a bummer the way it all kind of worked out with all the yellows, but man, once we got to racing, this was probably some of the most fun I've had on the service. So kudos to iRacing and everybody who gets these cars, dialed in for, where they're at, and just a really fun car and track combo.
You talked about the schedule lining up to where it's possible for you to run these races. You obviously are a part of the NASCAR community in real life, both in your O'Reilly series and the truck series and everything in between, but you also have found success over on the Monster Jam side. What does your schedule look like ahead, and when do we expect to possibly see you back out here at the racetrack?
Hopefully I could be out here a little bit more. Like I said, this was a very rare instance where I was able to hop in, so hopefully this isn't the last time I'm here. Hopefully I'm able to come in here and dice it up with these guys a little bit more. Hopefully we're able to, just do as much as much as I can. It's always fun to hop in these races.
All right, man. Well, congratulations on the race, and hopefully we get to see you out here for a few more races. Should we also expect to see you maybe out here for some of the double header races with OSRL as well?
That's the hope. I mean, I'm in both leagues, so, it's always a good time. So, like I said, kudos to Oates and John and everybody, between the 2 leagues for kind of doing this. It's a unique deal. You don't see leagues kind of work side by side like that often. So lots of fun.
All right, well, congrats on the race win, man. Hopefully we get to see you out here in the future.
Absolutely. Thank you.
That is your race winner, Mr. Ryan Vargas. And we're going to head it over to the other Ryan in this finish, that being Ryan Wayne. Joe, take it away.
And we'll get him into the booth, get him hooked up with the microphone. Ryan Wayne, you've got Joe Donahue in the broadcast booth. Do we have you?
Yes, sir. Got a copy.
All right. Love it. And I love the voice, a good voice here. Ryan Wayne, you had a in and out kind of race. Saw you get that momentum to carry yourself to the front, like kind of in the third of the way into the race. Like, tell me about the car. Tell me about how you felt with it and how you were able to you had that one run earlier in the race, and then right at the end of the race, you really put it together to get yourself in a good position.
Yeah, it started at the back of the pack, and like you said, the first third of the race, I just kind of minded my own business and was able to work my way up front and lead some laps. And really, right at the end, it was all about patience. Stayed on that outside line, was able to get around everybody on the inside. It seemed like the inside was checking up a little bit more than I anticipated, so staying that outside line was the big advantage there. And just right there on the last lap, I saw a huge run from Ryan Vargas, and I felt like if I went up and made that block, I probably would have wrecked myself. So I'm just happy to come away with a P2 finish, and congrats to Ryan Vargas on the win. Can't complain about second place.
Absolutely. Now, you mentioned patience early in the race to get into position, or at the end of the race, excuse me, to get in position to have a good run to the finish. But talk to me about the patience it took to get through the rest of the race, because we had those trains of yellows, and I'm sure that's just dreadful for you when you're trying to figure out how to get yourself up to the front. You have these back-to-back yellows, and you're thinking, how do I build momentum when we just do yellow laps?
Yeah, it was a little frustrating tonight. It felt like it was caution after caution. I'm not sure what the longest green flag run was tonight, but it was all about patience and trying to battle through all that and try to work your way to the front. And fortunate enough, I was on the right end of the stick to get a podium.
And 2 top 5s for you in this is your 3rd start with the John Car portion of this season. Now, what does that mean for you with like hopes of trying to get a championship run together, trying to be here more consistently with this group as well as the OSRL side of things? Like, do you feel you have the motivation and the capability to put together runs like this on a regular basis?
I would love to run the full schedule, but unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to. I've got some other announcing gigs that I've got lined up, so I won't be able to run the full schedule. But for these other races, my whole goal is just to maximize points and get top 5s and top 10s. That'd be the most consistent way for this. Will be my first season here in John Car / OSRL.
Well, for a first time out, you're doing a pretty solid job of showing yourself, and yeah, you got the voice for the broadcasting too. I'll throw that in there very much. That's you got. You know, I do this as well, but you got the voice for it. I always said I got the face for radio. But Ryan, who do you have to thank and shout out here on the broadcast for getting yourself into second place here at the end? What it took to get this 39 car on the podium?
I want to give a shout out to a couple people. I was working with Aaron May in the 10, Chase Wilson in the 44, Papa Bear Campbell in the 71, and we also had Nolan Kelly in the 21. I want to give a shout out to those 4. They were really big help and trying to put me in the right position to succeed. And I also want to give a shout out to Ryan Vargas and a couple of guys I was working with. I think it was Ryan Vargas, Nathan Barrows. They worked really well with me, and that was the big difference here in this race.
Awesome stuff. Well, it was good to see the run that you had. You showed us the capabilities of smart driving tonight, so we appreciate that you were able to kind of show, like, this is how you get the run early on in the race. You said this is how to get the run, and at the end you used it. So congratulations from us, and we'll look forward to seeing you in whatever races we can moving forward.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me on.
All right, and that is Ryan Wayne, end up second place at the end of tonight. And Noah, if you're ready for him, we'll go back to Schmitty, and I'll hand the microphone back over to you for third place.
Absolutely. We're going to bring in your third place finisher, William Schmidt. Schmidt, you kind of played bridesmaid all night long, kind of pushing the guy to eventually end up leading the race. But considering a third place finish and the focus on the championship fight and the long road ahead, that's got to be a really good way to end the night.
Yeah, I was hoping that my block on Ashley there and 3 and 4 would have got me a little bit of momentum, but it didn't even do anything. It just a little tap and went nowhere, and I was like, well, P3. But P3 is still good. I think this puts me in a pretty good spot for the championship. I mean, I know I'm up there. I don't know how far back I was, but yeah, I mean, oh my God, I'm looking back at the replay only just now and seeing the one car fly through the air. Good Lord, but. Yeah, I mean it was fun up front. I wish there wasn't as many cautions, but the racing up front was really good. And yeah, like you said, I was playing bridesmaid to Vargas a whole lot because I knew I could push him really good. And pretty much every time we were helping each other, we got up to the front. So I knew in the very end, coming to the last lap, I'm behind him. Wherever he goes, I'm going.
You kind of talk about being committed there to Vargas. You have a guy that confident and that strong when leading the pack. Does it kind of make your choice easier on where to stick the nose, knowing that you have that committed of somebody to push, knowing it's going to take you to the front?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, there was a couple times where, we got linked up 1-2 and, we just could not get past. And a couple times where we got lodged in the back, I think, after pitting. And, we linked up again and made our way through the field. And yeah, it was really nice having somebody being able to make moves like that, and I'm more of a pusher than a pushy, so that really helps out me on these super speedways.
And you talk about the point scenario coming into this event. You entered here 8 points back, third, second to only Isaac Johnson, who didn't show up, and Kalonix, who ended up crashing and finished all the way back at 16th. That should theoretically push in the points lead. Talk about the long road ahead. There's a lot of racing still left to go, but 4 races in, and you're now the championship leader. Just got to feel pretty confident to know that you're going to have this strong of a start to the season.
Yeah, for sure. I'm surprised I am, considering how half the races I ran the Gen 4, but I mean, hey, it worked out, so I'll just keep doing what I'm doing.
You talked about that as well, and I was going to bring that up. This is your first race since the season opener that you did decide to come back and run the new ARCA car compared to the Legacy. Obviously, I don't think you had much of a choice. I don't think that was an option this weekend. How much more fun did it feel not having to be relegated back to where you chose to go and be the one true ARCA competitor running the old Gen 4 car and having to put around the back waiting for a solid finish?
It felt really good to lead some laps, man. It felt really good to lead some laps. It's been a little while, but I mean, hey, it is what it is. See what's the next race? Is it Laguna Seca? Is that the next race?
I think there's one more oval between that. I'm not sure off the top of my head, but I think Laguna. Remember, I did the race last week, and I think there's this one more race, and then it's Laguna Seca.
Okay, let's see. I'm looking at the schedule right now. Daytona, Kern, EchoPark got moved, but we did that. Phoenix. Next up looks like it is Laguna Seca.
Oh,
I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I'm gonna be honest. I'm not running the Gen 4 for that. I did that in OSRL. That was not fun. So yeah, I'm gonna be running the Gen 6 again for that. Hickory, I might go back to the Gen 4.
What's the decision to decide to run the Gen 4? I mean, you're already leading the championship fight. Why would you want to risk possibly losing the championship lead?
I mean, the Gen 4 is fun. I mean, I've always been a big fan of the the backmarker guys. So getting to putter around and LARP a bit in the league is pretty fun. So that's what I'm doing. So yeah, I mean, I'm surprised that I'm even in the championship league, considering how I'm not super focused on points. But yeah, I mean, I'm just focused on having fun. And I have fun racing the Gen 4, even if I am like a second off pace on the long run, but it is what it is.
All right, well, congratulations on a third place finish, and hopefully we get to see you run up closer to the front here for the rest of the way.
Yeah, thank you, man. I appreciate it.
Well,
all right.
Nice. Unofficial results coming up on the screen here at the end of the show. Ryan Vargas, Ryan Wayne, William Schmidt, that's your top three. Ronald Swikey, dude, hell yeah. Stoked for Ronald Swikey. That's an awesome finish for the 42 car. I've never seen him finish in the top 20. That's awesome. Nathan Barros, the top finishing of those PepsiCo cars. Gavin Newton played snooker. He ends up sixth at the end of it. Nicholas Barros, the other Barros in the PepsiCo team. Then Timothy Moore, Matthew Gritchen as well, the PepsiCo guys kind of rounding out the top 10, and Mateo Mitchell in 10th place. 11th place for Dylan Dreiling, Madeline Roten 12th, Kyle Topman in 13th. Then back down Shane O'Neill, Mike Campbell, Ashley Kolonix, championship leader coming in, ends up 16th at the end. Austin Ripp, didn't talk about Austin really at all today. Almost did. I saw him sneaking up through the field at the end of it, but didn't quite work out. Aaron May ends up 18th. 19th for Rex Jenkins. James Mendez rounds out your top 20. Then you've got Mo Perry with the very good no good day. Very bad no good day. It's getting late. Devin Lentz, only talked about him once in a crash. John Daniels in 23rd. Chase Willis, tough day. Kind of self-inflicted tough day. Jade Gray, didn't talk about Jade at all, really. Austin Vaughn, 26th. Then Nolan Kelly, 27th, 1 lap down. John Shulcheski, 1 lap down. Chris Vanskoy, 3 laps down, as well as Nate Moeller in the 00. Then you've got Christopher B. Williams, Presley Sora, and Bobby Blazer did not finish the race at the end. And those are the results from Atlanta. And Noah, at the end of the broadcast, at the end of all of that, your final thoughts on what we've seen tonight.
I said this is going to be trying to mix oil and gasoline, and I felt like that was pretty right. You brought a bunch of ARCA cars on the track this tight, on a track this fast, and, things are going to happen no matter who you put behind the wheel of the race car, whether it's the Pro Series drivers who arguably would have probably had an even worse experience than if we had these guys. It's just aggression's going to win in the end, and that's what we saw. It was a matter of who kept their car clean, who made the smart decisions, and of course, the guy with some real life experience is the one that ends up coming in here, stealing the show and stealing the win and stealing everybody's lunch money at the end of it. One note I do want to give, you talk about the no good, very bad day for the running racing design. They occupy the final 3 spots on the running order, besides Gavin Newton finishing in 5th, which is just kind of, I think, the icing on the cake for how rough of an ending it was for them. But, I would say, despite everything, those final 20 laps made it somewhat worth it.
Well, good. I like the sound of that, and like that we were able to get this far in. And yeah, I mean, it was a good race at the end, and I think that's the best part, is that we really did have fun at the end, get the green flag run, and getting to see things come together. But like it was mentioned a couple times here so far, the next race on the calendar for this series is the doubleheader Laguna Seca race on March 25th. That is a doubleheader with the OSRL ARCA Series. OSRL will be racing on, I got to do my math. Today is the 16th, so they will be racing on Wednesday at Las Vegas, and then they will come together there. So in about 10 days' time, JOHNCAR will go back to action, and we have to wait and see if we will be bringing the broadcast to you, and if we do, fantastic, and if we don't, still going to be a race worth showing up for. So that is the end of the broadcast. On behalf of Noah Carmichael, my very good-looking friend in the booth with me here tonight, thank you for being here. We want to thank John Szulczewski, the commissioner of JOHNCAR, for putting this show together. Thank our drivers for tuning in, and thank especially everybody who watched along. To Jaron, stop putting super chats. You've got to stop doing that. I want to thank everybody who watched the broadcast and supports the channel long term. This is Joe Donahue on behalf of the crew, signing off for now. We will see you in the next broadcast.